Okay, I have just closed this one based on this alert here, and I know that this could trade higher. It's just that it's having a tough time getting through. This is a previous monthly, a previous monthly, a previous monthly. All right, so last 3 months, it's failed to crack this level. All right, given that we haven't seen the push through, I mean, it could happen today, who knows, but we've got this going on, and I would rather secure profits here and regroup. Now we're heading into the Asia Open has just kicked off, and let's just see how things pan out. All right, down to the lower time frame on the 30-minute. Got the same thing going on here, look. Yeah, and I'm not entirely comfortable with lower high, lower low here. That could be a run on stops and it could push up, but yeah, let's just take it easy with this. We've got a red alert. Okay, we had these two red alerts here, so we had that pullback right there. Now I've got another red alert on the 30-minute and the daily. So I would rather secure profit here and just sit tight, see how things shape up. Okay, I'll have a look at the log. So I've got the alerts set up to go off on the 30-minute and some on the 15. So we can just click through the Solana. All right, see the 4-hour down here in the middle, red alert right there. Okay, so expect a pullback. Let's just open that up. Red alert on the 4H is right there. Okay, mark it up, a bearish pullback. See how these lines are traveling around the high, around this red horizontal? Yeah, that's a sign that things are a bit overstretched and we could see it pull back. Okay, Floki, I mean, they'd all be the same. I want to have a look at this one here, dollar Swissy, what's that doing? All right, so dollar Swissy on the daily. Yep, okay, it's losing a bit of steam. It says it's bullish. See here the table, it says it's bullish on the daily. Mainly because see how it's trading under the cloud and now it's trading in through the cloud. So this is it's bullish at the moment on the higher time frame. If you look at it from this perspective, right? So we've got that bullish channel going on the daily. But yeah, looking at that, okay, so it's pulled right back down into this is a liquidity pool. So whenever it hits liquidity, you expect it to react off that. So we'll just mark it up, liquidity. So dollar Swissy, yeah, it's starting to lean over here. Oh, okay, so we've got a break into the red zone on the 15-minute. Let's have a quick look at the dollar index and see what it's doing. Yeah, dollar index is bearish. All right, clearly on the daily. Although, okay, on the 4-hour, see how we got the green alert down here. So that's potentially going to pull back. 4-hour, we could see a bullish pullback with the dollar index. So if that's the case, Fibra Trace, yeah, it could pull back up into here. Yeah, and there's an imbalance. See this thin candle here? Right, that's a imbalance or a fair value gap if you want. Okay, bearish imbalance, one-sided trading. Imbalance, right, that could be a target for this to pull back, as is the liquidity that's resting up here. Okay, buy stops and it moves back into equilibrium. Right, big money don't want to be selling down here. They need the pullback. That's where they get short. See that? So we've got this here. This is a bearish order block. OB. Okay, institutional order block. Okay, they work their orders in here. Down it goes. Right. Look left to see what we've got in terms of liquidity. Well, okay. It really just these orders that are resting under these two lows over here. So it's pulled right down into that. So it's eating up liquidity under here on the daily. So that's a liquidity pool. Wherever you see a low like that, that's a previous weekly low, a liquidity pool. So the orders that run into that pair with that, and then the natural reaction then is for this to pull back up as these sell orders pair with this liquidity down in here. I hope that makes sense, all right? So the dollar, quite possibly the dollar pulls back. So if that's the case, anything paired with the dollar, you'd be looking for a retrace. Now I'm bullish the euro dollar, the pound dollar pretty much. But if we go back over here to the euro dollar, given that the dollar index is overextended, take note of this. All right, it's telling us that we could see it pull back. All right, so this is how you need to be using the indicators alert. Bearish pullback off this alert here. What have we got in terms of a fair value gap? We've got this gap here. All right, so that's this thin one-sided trading 4 hours, a 4-hour imbalance or fair value gap, same thing, imbalance. Right, so that could be a target for this to pull back. Now we know that the dollar is overstretched, so a move back down into these levels here would be ideal. So that would be the plan. We could look for a potential entry point, as this pulls back. All right, that's the euro dollar. It'd be the same thing, I think, for the pound dollar. Yeah, look at it. I've got my buy limit sitting down in there. All right, I might just change that. I'm going to delete it and then we'll move it. Yeah, look, see, wherever we see these alerts, look, see this one here. Well, I mean, sometimes it's not much of a pullback. Sometimes it's a really significant pullback, but, we got that. Back here, look at this green. Well, here, there's 2 green alerts. Have a look at these. All right, this one gave us bullish pullback. All right, have a look from here to here. And then this one was really significant. That gave us the reversal. And I mean, if you see an alert like this, you could look for the reversal like this green signal here. That's on the 4 hour. All right, come back to this. I'm going to delete the buy limit. Okay, get rid of that. That'll be in Telegram. So what I want to do now is make an adjustment. Well, I mean, yeah, even something like that. Like I don't want to be chasing price. I don't want to buy at the high, when this is possible. And I need the pullback. And look, if it pulls back and I miss out, then so be it. But something like that could work. See, we've got this yellow line. That's a previous daily low. So, we just set that up slightly above. We've got an imbalance. Have a look. 4 hour. See the imbalance here? Just keep an eye on them because they are definitely a target for, the market to rebalance. So we've got that. That could be a play, possibly. Just look at these. We've got the yellow here. This is a daily. I would be inclined to go for a stop loss under that, and then just wiggle that around depending, and then go for at least 2R. It's 2.5, something like that. And then, we just manage it from there. But, I want that pullback. So, yeah, simply put, low to high, pull back into equilibrium, grab a fib retrace, low to high. Yeah, there's at 50%, and that coincides with this imbalance. And we've got the signals here telling us to, get ready for a pullback. All right, so that could be a thing. Yeah, I don't mind that. We could set some alerts. So the Asian session today, I might kind of hold back. There's nothing really presenting itself as far as I'm concerned. That could push off from here and leave me behind, and I'm ready to let it go. I really need that to pull back. Yeah, because it's had a fair bit of a move here. Just got to be careful, guys. So when it's ranging like that, that's big money working orders. All right, now we don't know if this is going to play out like this. You've got to be careful because what can happen, and what happens fairly regularly, is it'll range. Okay, that's a balance area, and if they're looking to go long, they'll run it up to entice buyers in. So this is building stop loss orders under here. They run it up and more stops go under. Then they take it right down, and then we're off to the races. All right, so you just got to really be careful. Sometimes you get caught thinking, right, there's the range, it's breaking out, let's go, and then you get wiped out. So that's why I'm always looking at this low to high and equilibrium level here. And I don't want to get caught up in that, and I'll let it go because that could move and continue up. That's possible. But yeah, I just want the setup that I prefer. And then, if that pulls back down in here and we get it, this rotates, I'd be delighted. Look, so we've got a red alert. Red alerts everywhere, guys. And you really got to pay attention to these indicators. Look, this red alert is on the 30-minute chart. And have a look and see what happens every red alert. Look, okay, this one here, all right, it pushed up. Let's just mark it red to show you this. It's such an important indicator. Bearish pullback. Mark that up. Bearish pullback. potential bearish pullback, right? You really got to take notice, especially on like the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour. The daily can take a while to play out, but yeah, for the 1 and the 30-minute, I think, and the 15, they're important. So we've got another one back here. See what happens. Like you get the red alert, and also this dot is important right there. Okay, that's coming off the extreme confluence. Right, we've got extreme confluence telling us to be careful, and what happens, right? There it is, okay, the pullback. It's the same thing here. We've got the alert here. Okay, watch out for the pullback. Every time, look, this is a 30-minute. It just doesn't, sometimes it's not a big pullback, but it's a pullback. Look, right? So you want to, get geared up to catch this rotation on the lower time frame. After you see these alerts going off on the higher time frame, then you get set up. Then we go in and set up alerts on the lower time frame. So what I'm looking for here on the 30-minute, I would like to see this green zone turn red. So then we get, say, a pullback, right? So green zone turns red, and then the red zone turns green. Watch out for that, and the run-on stops. All right, so something like that. Okay, so what we can do with this trend track multi or the trend bars, we could go for a bullish break here. I'm thinking at alert on this one, it'll be you could go for a bullish channel breakout, right? So once per bar, that's not a bad signal. So that would fire. Let's just enable. I think I might have hidden them. Hang on. Oh no, bullish channel bar color green. That's another one. You could look for bar color green as well. So, back down in here, if I wiggle this on and off, see the signal right there. All right, so see how this red turns green here. Watch that. Okay, there you go. There's your signals. There's those signals. And this one here, okay, red turns green, right? So what I want is this to pull back, turn red and then go green again. And so you can set this one as well. Add alert on this one, bullish alignment once per bar, and I want that to make make a bit of noise. Let's go classic, right? Thin sound, so it's different. Create, yeah, right. So this trend track multi will only fire if it turns red and then green, and it'll give us the green alert. That's a really good alert, that one. And so I want that on the euro dollar as well. That is a really important alert. 3 bars at alert. Yeah, bullish alignment once per bar, create, done. See how this is red now, this background? Okay. As soon as it turns green, that will get us in. And then when we get that opportunity here, right, this is ideal now that it's turned red on the 30-minute time frame. Don't you love it? So what I'm going to do also is remove yesterday's temporary signals. Okay, I've got permanent and temporary. Yeah, aligned bullish. I think they're the ones that I really want more than anything. Bar color change, price closed above channel. That's fine. So we've got euro dollar and the pound dollar signals. Yeah, and then we can just wait for those. So, and these ones here, these two are permanent, 15 and 30, 15 minutes and 30. And these are coming off the trend track multi. Right, that's a permanent alert. It's a trend track multi. And I've selected. So what I'm doing, I'm trading this account here with Pepperstone just for convenience, because this is an account that I can trade on TradingView. And what happens is these get transferred over to another MT4 account. And that MT4 account is my master account for the trade copy. And I'm in the process of potentially changing that master account. All right, so I'll update you if and when that happens, because if you're copying my signals from Telegram, you want to be in sync with my broker. That's an advantage. Anyway, we'll get to that. I'm just waiting on approvals and a new account so that we can set that up. But look, that's the process, guys. We just look and see what's strong. If we have a look at currency strength, right, well, that's one we can look at. See how the pound dollar up down here on this one, and we should see the euro dollar. So they're strong. Okay, the Aussie, the New Zealand dollar. Okay, pound New Zealand, that's strong. Okay, that's a 1 hour. This one's a 4 hour, and you want to match them up so that you got 2 time frames The lower time frame, this is a 30-minute, could be the pullback. So, that could be different. But and the other thing you want to look at is the trajectory. Like when we open that up, maybe the 4-hour. See the pound dollar, the blue, the trajectory from way back has been fairly good. But that's overextended, guys, so expect that to pull back. Currency strength at the moment here. This is a 4-hour. This one is a 1, and this one is 30. So the 4-hour and the 1-hour and the 30. Okay, the pound is right up there, yellow. The pound is good. All right. The Kiwi is creeping up on the 4H. The Kiwi is creeping up here as well. So I'm actually pleased that I closed that pound Kiwi today. The Kiwi is starting to gain strength. This is that grey one, and the pound, is pulling back. So, yeah, I think that was a good move. Pound Kiwi. So we've closed that one in profit. Yeah, look, see, I closed it up here. Now it's starting to pull back. And we've got, look, the red alert down here telling us to expect a pullback. Red alert on the daily as well. All right, so we secure profits. Yeah, so look, Asian session today, I'm actually expecting some pullbacks. So let's just see if that happens. And then we can probably get involved with something possibly into the London Open. Alrighty, guys, I'll kind of wrap it up. That's a bit of a look, and just to share with you, my thought process, what I'm looking for. We've got an edge. We're coming out ahead, and let's keep it up. Alrighty, with that, I hope you have a great day. Safe trading, and see you in the next one.